Like, that's the thing about podcasts. It's just like a bunch of people talking, right? Like, it's entertaining content, but at the same time, like, it's pretty inconsequential for the most part.
Yeah, if you miss like an
you're
episode of it.
This isn't like episode like, my entire family died. I'm gonna have a eulogy for them. Like,
man. That's
like it's not heavy. It's not important. That was like, oh, holy shit. Where did that come from?
Yeah, what the fuck?
This is the Virtual Homework Podcast. We're gonna start with a somber note. As you all know, Wilford Brimley died roughly an hour and a half ago.
Really?
Yeah, he actually did. I'm not even joking.
Holy shit! That's like in the grand scheme of things, it's not like he did anything like memorable, but like I would like to think most people have name recognition with that.
So you're saying people remember him, despite what you saying he did nothing memorable?
Well, like he didn't have like much.
You're not getting out of this.
He didn't have like
anyway.
Fuck. That sucks, man.
It does actually suck. Wilford Brimley was probably one of my first introductions to memes with diabetes. Despite the fact that this does not sound serious, I am very sad about Wilford Brimley's passage. So
why'd you have to like start this fucking podcast with a bummer, and now we're just gonna be like super bummed out the entire podcast?
This episode is brought to you by Wilford Brimley.
Remembrance.
As we talk about Baba Is You, just remember
theme
Wilford
song.
Brimley.
What's good, man? It's your boy Juicy J, man. Shout out to Virtual Homework Podcast.
Wilford Brimley did actually die.
I'm sorry, that sucks.
We're back to the Wilford Brimley hour. We're all very upset. I legitimately am upset. I'm memeing, but at the same time, I'm really not. I'm actually really upset about Wilford Brimley. I'm sad because I liked Wilford Brimley, and
yeah,
the Beatles took him away.
I want you to play like that Sarah McLachlan song at like super low levels throughout this entire podcast.
I have no idea what you mean, but I'm thinking In the Arms of the Angel.
Yeah, like that, or like I will remember you.
We'll just, so you're already going to see this, but like half the background of this episode is going to be Wilford Brimley just fading in.
Like, we're already getting demonetized for me singing that, by the way.
I believe in the power for us to beat the algorithm.
So what did we play today?
We played Baba Is You, also known as, in my mind, A Baba Is You, because for the past couple years, I've known about this game.
Yeah.
I've always said, oh, have you played a Baba Is You? And like now I feel like the biggest idiot on the planet because there's no A, it's just Baba Is You. But like for some reason in my mind, I've told everyone like, oh, a Baba Is You looks great. It's like I'm just like flashbacks to like cringe moments, like Jesus Christ.
So I actually knew nothing about this game. I knew of it, and I know lots of people played it. Like people played it on stream. It was at GDQ. Some people on Twitter were like making levels for it and stuff, but I had no idea how it was played or anything. Might I say, I understand why people would like it. I did not have a good time.
What? I actually really enjoyed it, which is kind of surprising considering like I've had nothing but complaints for like every single puzzle game. Okay, not nothing but complaints. That's like melodramatic. But like we've played a decent amount of puzzle games on stream if I'm not actually mistaken. We played Super Collapse 3, we played The Witness, we played Baba Is You. I feel like that's not it. But at the same time, I've had massive complaints about those games. I actually don't really have complaints about this games. I don't have complaints about this game. The thing I will say though is that like it's not like the biggest puzzle game I've ever played. No. Games like The Witness, they took risks, they paid off. This is just a standard puzzle game.
Yeah.
You play it, you have fun.
Like it's extremely charming. Like as soon as I started playing it, like I'm like, oh, this is, you know, the graphics, the sound, like how it all works, stuff like that. Let's just kind of go into like the mechanics a little bit real quick though. It's a little puzzle game where you rearrange like kind of like almost like if-then statements, kind of like reminds me of like programming. It's like you change the rules of everything around you almost. Like there's like a word that'll be like rock, and you can say the rock is a flag, or the flag is a rock, or the rack is floating, you know.
Fraggle Rock?
Yeah, dude. Flaggle.
Like from the Muppets?
Yeah, dude.
Well, okay, so what Dana is fumbling here, because obviously he hasn't played the game. He's just looking at the Wikipedia page right now.
Dude.
I looked at his total playtime, 10 minutes.
I played it for two hours, but just because...
11:45 p.m., I see that he started the game for the first time. He's scrambling. He's trying to like, oh God, I forgot about this podcast. He's trying so hard to understand the game. But anyway, basically, how the game works is you're the character named Baba for the most part, which is a sheep, and you get to like push certain blocks around. You get to push like text around, and as he said, it changes the logic of the game. There's generally text on the level that says Baba is you, which says, oh, you are this sheep. But you could actually you could change it. If there's like a text that says rock, you could make it say rock is you. All of a sudden you're controlling all the rocks on the screen. You could have it say like rock is push, so you could push the rocks. Rock, if you don't have it on push, it doesn't push the rocks. You basically change the logic with how you push items against each other. And it's a little bit hard to explain. I actually recommend, even if you haven't played this game before, looking at a little bit of the gameplay.
Yeah, I'm terrible at explaining.
I think this is just a game that's hard to explain. Don't beat yourself up here. But the thing about this game, the thing that I really thought this game excelled in is just, for lack of a better term, it's snappy. You make a move, and it does exactly what you think it would, and it does it immediately.
Yeah.
Like for example, you say Baba is you change that to the word Baba is key. Even though that makes the level impossible, you turn into a key, and then it's like, oh yeah, shit, of course that would happen. This is basically, I kind of thought about this initially, and I think it holds true. If you've ever played like the Pokemon games, you know those maps where you have to push the boulders?
I was literally just thinking that in my head, yeah.
Yeah, it's like pushing the boulders in Pokemon on steroids.
Yeah.
It's really that concept expanded.
I mean, there are some really cool moments though, like when you turn yourself into the wall and then you become like every wall on the stage, and then you're like moving as like every wall on the stage. Just some of my major complaints were, I felt like there were just inconsistencies with mechanics that just didn't make sense to me, and that's why I just didn't enjoy it. Like for example, like it's like Baba is floating, right? So then I turn Baba into a flag, and I'm still floating, but that lets me finish the stage somehow. Like, I don't understand it. Like, why is a flag no longer floating because you're no longer Baba? Like, it just didn't make sense to me, I guess.
To sound so smug, asshole-ish, it generally made sense to me. I didn't actually have issues with inconsistent text or anything like that.
Yeah, I just felt like a lot of the mechanics, like, were just, to me, felt inconsistent to the point where like I wasn't having fun.
So I definitely got stuck at points.
Oh, yeah.
Like I literally have a talking point that like, holy shit, I got stuck. I think it was around the second. Actually, how far did you get?
I got like 3/4 of the way through like the second world.
Okay, so I beat this game.
Oh wow.
But I have a note on that. But the third, or I think it was the second world. I think stage 6 and 8. So you unlock basically multiple stages at once. It's not super linear. But I got stuck in that moment for about an hour. Like the difficulty curve on 2.6 and 2.8, which were like what you needed to do to progress. Yeah. Like it was so hard. I ended up like I had to like close the game for like a day and just like pick it up the next day. And like I was able to solve it, but at the same time, like it doesn't have super clear or I guess super gradual like difficulty progression, which was something that I actually found a little bit annoying. On the topic of beating the game, though, there was an issue in that I did not feel whole when you beat the game. So, like, for example, I don't think either of us played Death Stranding since last week, which is kind of funny considering I said I'm gonna beat it eventually, and then you also said I just because I forgot to bring this up in the beginning. I want to note that like on the last podcast you said Death Stranding is the best game of the decade. You were literally playing this in 2020. Wait,
I did not say that.
You said multiple times it's the best game of the decade.
I don't think so.
I don't think you were thinking like 2020 is literally the start of the decade.
I don't think I said it. I don't think I said that.
I can show you the clip.
You better.
Okay, I will. But anyway, like for example, you said you beat Death Stranding. It's one of the most satisfying endings you've ever played.
Yeah, definitely.
I felt like I played a demo and I like got to the end of the demo when I beat this game. So I'm going to spoil it for you because you don't actually, I doubt you care. Like there's no profound plot to this game. It's basically just solve puzzles until you're done. You notice that when you start the game, there's an area where you could unlock with 3 flowers. For those who don't know, there's a progression system in this game. There's like a kind of like a dandelion, and then there's like a flower.
Yeah, it's
symbol.
Like every 9 stages you get one of them or something like that.
It's not necessarily set. So if you beat a certain amount of stages in a world, you unlock a flower. Yeah. You basically get like the first area, you have to get 8 dandelions to unlock the flower. Second stage is like 8 as well, but then like the third stage is like 6. But you literally, once you unlock that like area right next to the start of the game after beating 3 flowers, that's the ending stage. You could beat the game and unlock the credits.
Oh,
So I played this game for 5 hours. I beat the game. I unlocked the credits. The last level was actually pretty hard. Like I definitely struggled with it, but like at the same time, like I unlocked the credits. I'm like, I barely played through this game, and that's actually so like after that I looked.
Did that, and then you still had a lot of the game left to like play through.
Yeah, no. So what I was gonna say is like after that, I'm like, did I really beat the game? Like, are these credits really rolling right now? So I went to how long to beat, like, because that's like a website where you could find out like how long the game is. To beat the game was 4 to 5 hours, which is what I did. I beat the game in 5 hours. Actually, this game, I remember I complained about total playtime, like on Steam, like being like bad and like certain games not like counting total playtime. This game did not count pause menus. I was actually pretty happy about that. My total playtime was accurate despite the fact that like I opened this game for a while. But yeah, total playtime on how long to beat the game was 4 to 5 hours. But like completionist was like 20 something hours.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And like 100% was like 50 hours.
Jesus
so
Christ.
Like you unlock the credits like 10% through the game, and like you don't really feel good about it.
So like is this just like you beat the stage credits?
Yeah, like pretty much. Like I mean, it's kind of like, I'm not sure if you played Animal Crossing, but like you unlock the credits pretty early, and I think that's because they know that the game is gonna take a really long time. Like you're just basically gonna play Animal Crossing till the day you die.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing doesn't really have a goal.
Well, this says
at the
like
same
a clear
time that
goal,
doesn't work
though.
for a game that has a set goal of beating all the stages. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love that. Like you just tried to talk like 7 times, and I just like fuck that. I'm speaking.
That's okay. I mean, you're very
Dana
passionate about
domination.
this game. I genuinely did not have a good time. Like, I would give it maybe like a 3.8 out of 10 for me.
That is so harsh, but at the same time, I feel like the numbered system is so bad.
Oh, it's awful, but it's like I'm just like making up like a low number. Like I don't. It could be like a 1 out of 10 for all I care. But it's like I felt stupid.
You felt stupid? I feel like you would enjoy this game more if we like played it. Like I think I mentioned this before, but like we played The Witness, and like I think we both enjoyed playing The Witness individually, but I think the most fun I had is when we were both playing together.
Yeah, that was
like
pretty
trying
fun.
to solve these puzzles. And I think that this game like is super fun when you're trying to solve it with other people, which is why it lends itself so well to a stream game. I think you've probably seen this on stream.
Yeah.
Through multiple streamers. And honestly, I've seen Barb play this a little bit, and I enjoyed watching him play this. So I was pretty much looking forward to playing this game when we were actually playing it. And I definitely enjoyed my playthrough. I wouldn't call it the best game of the year. We've played for some reason we've only
really
played good games.
Yeah, we gotta pick a shitter for next time. But
yeah,
to go back to your
I'm gonna
thought
pick like
on,
fucking what is it, Big Rigs for next time, and just
dude.
have fun playing that for 2 hours.
To go back on your thought about you said playing this like together, I would be actually interested in doing that. So maybe next week I will come back and I say, hey, I had a lot more fun when I did it like that. I can show you what I mean by inconsistencies or like things I that made me feel stupid. So, and maybe you're like, oh no, it's this mechanic. Because my problem is like, did you look up this game at all? Like, did you look up hints?
Nope,
of how things
I
work?
did not look up a single thing. I looked up The Witness like a little bit
because
but,
I
like,
didn't look
this
up
game, I looked
anything
none.
like that. I think the biggest thing for me is like it wasn't spelled out. Like The Witness isn't necessarily spelled out, but like it lends itself to explaining how the world works around you. I just feel like this game didn't do as good of a job.
The weird thing is though is that this game is literally text, so it is quite literally spelled out.
Listen, I told you it made me feel dumb. Okay.
Want to know what actually like kind of made me nostalgic though about this game?
What's
like,
that?
So I had a lot of parallels with a certain game you may know, Fire and Ice for the NES.
Yeah,
Like,
I could see that.
Did you notice that a little bit?
Yeah, where you're like pushing and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is like, oh shit, like this is basically an evolution of our first episode that we ever did.
Dude,
Shout out to all the people who, for some reason, listened to Fire and Ice, the first episode. When Dana's audio was so quiet, you had to like turn it up to like listen to him, and then like turn it down to listen to me. We've come a long way.
Do you think people like listen to like the? Do you think people listen to like the 8th episode and go back to like the first one?
So I actually listen to podcasts. Like I try to actually go start to end. Like the biggest experiment for me is that like I started listening to Mega 64 podcasts. I think around episode 510. They're at like 580 now.
Yeah.
But like I've gone through like episodes 1 through like 30. Like I'm trying to like actually fully do it.
It's hard to have that much time to watch like 5,000 hours of content.
Yeah, but at the same time, like it's listenable and like it's pretty like inconsequential if you miss anything. It's not like you're gonna like Like, that's the thing about podcasts. It's just like a bunch of people talking, right? Like, it's entertaining content, but at the same time, like, it's pretty inconsequential for the most part. Like,
if you miss like an episode of it.
This isn't like episode like, oh, my entire family died. I'm gonna have a eulogy for them. Like,
man. That's
like, it's not heavy. It's not important. That was like, oh, holy shit, where did that come from?
Yeah, what the fuck?
But I'm trying to think of like stuff you actually want to listen to, you know?
No one wants to hear that.
No one wants to hear that, but at the same time, it's like that's.
Well, it's like it's not
content.
like a show like you're watching Breaking Bad where you miss like 3 episodes. You're like, what? He's
This isn't Breaking
now?
Bad. This is General Hospital. There we go.
This is Death Clock before they had a plot.
Yeah, this is Death Clock before they had 20-minute episodes.
So
actually, no. That's they had a plot before 20-minute episodes, but they just got bad at 20-minute episodes. I would say first season did not have a plot. Second season, they actually got into the.
Dude, I could write a paper on what happened to Adult Swim shows. As soon as they started becoming like 20 minutes, half hour, like they stopped being as good, I think.
Yeah, but at the same time, like they always had plots. Like, I'm not sure if my favorite Adult Swim show ever is 12 Ounce Mouse.
Yeah, I do agree. That's a little bit.
But that
different.
had a plot.
Yeah, that
it
does
just,
have a plot. You know, they actually came back with that.
And I'm actually upset about that. Like, deeply upset.
Why?
Like, the thing is, it's good, but I don't want. Like, imagine if Breaking Bad came back. Like, yeah, there's Better Call Saul, which technically expands on the universe.
It's
like,
just
imagine if Breaking Bad came back.
I think people would be super stoked.
People would be stoked, but it has so much potential to fuck everything up. Like, I don't care if new 12 Ounce Mouse is good. That's I would actually be happy. But the actual announcement that they're bringing a show back after 20 years has such potential to ruin something I like that, like, it actually upsets me. 12 Ounce Mouse was this, like, very, very specific piece of an era. This was a weird Adult Swim. This is when they were doing shows that were canceled after like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Like, you have shows like Minority Team that sucked, but like they at least tried. You have shows like fucking Perfect Hair Forever, which could never exist in current Adult Swim. Like, it's not because of
it's like
racism or like any like
TV,
politically incorrect. It's just like it's so weird. And, like, Adult Swim's always been weird, but they've been playing it so much more safe. They have content like Rick and Morty right now.
Well, because that weird stuff doesn't work nowadays. Because, like, when there was TV back then, there was nothing like that. Now you can just jump on the internet and see 50 million clones of all that Adult Swim stuff. So that's why I feel like maybe that's why they're going safer, because that type of old content is, like, you can just find it anywhere now.
Yeah, that actually brings up a good point. Like, there's no such thing as turning on TV at 4 a.m. and just wondering what's going to be on.
Yeah.
Like, that was 4 a.m. content, and you don't have a specific time you watch content anymore.
Oh, no. I can just fucking, it's 4 in the afternoon, hey, let me fucking, somebody shitting on the floor or something, you know?
Yeah, like, you ever see, like, old E-Bombs video where the guy's, like, shitting from a tree?
Yeah.
Classic. Because it probably wasn't from E-Bombs World, if we're being serious here.
Yeah, no, they stole 100% of content.
Yeah.
Do you ever miss old internet?
Yeah, but it's still there, you know? Like, everything on the old internet is there. It's just that, like, the discovery mechanisms and, like, what we, like, expect out of the internet has just changed.
Well, because everything's so compartmentalized nowadays, it's almost, like, hard to find some of that stuff. Like, some of these old creators that I remember being on, like, super esoteric websites that are, like, no longer there, so it's like, where do you see their content or something like that? Or people that were like exclusive to MySpace that were like super funny, that like their pages don't exist anymore, you know, type shit.
Yeah, I think the only really part of that internet that I long for, there was this website called Game Maker Games. I think most people know about Game Maker. Like, Game Maker was a program that I think it still exists, but it was primarily used from like 2000 to 2006.
Like RPG Maker or something like that, or?
So Game Maker was like a lot more freeform than RPG Maker. Like, people who used Game Maker back in the day, which was a pretty elementary program, like, I've actually. So, for example, both Hotline Miami games were made on Game Maker.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
and the guy who made Hotline Miami, I actually have never played Hotline Miami, but
Ooh, that'd be a good one to choose.
The previous games he's made, I've definitely played. Like, Seizure Dome is one of my favorite, like, just arcade style games, and that was made by that guy. Yeah, it actually doesn't even run on. I've tried to run it on Windows 10. It doesn't work. You have to like get a Windows XP virtual machine. But anyway, like, a lot of these people have actually gone on to create like great indie games, but what happened was this was a site, GameMakerGames.com, that you listed your game, you had a page, and then you had a download link, and usually this download link was either a person's own website or a site like Mediafire or what was that one everyone used before, like
Angelfire.tk?
Not Angelfire. It was like File. It had like a joystick as a logo. FileDrive.com. Like
no, it was like I think it was like GameSpot. It was before
it wasn't GameSpot. It was like
it turned into GameSpot. It before that.
Yeah, but like it basically one of those websites that like just went away and like all the downloads because like that happened with like Mega Upload as well.
Yeah, the original Mega Upload.
Yeah. So you're basically stuck. Like you want to play all these really good games, but these people only made like one or two things on the internet, and you can't actually find them anymore. It's actually really frustrating because there are certain games that have legitimate history that you can't play anymore. The biggest example, I think you actually can play it, but like Game Maker brought us Sexy Hiking, which I remember playing in like 2003, which brought us what was it?
Getting Over It.
Getting Over It, yeah. You can still like, but there's like a billion different games like that like have a very basic concept that are lost in time that could be remade and like actually like
I remember reading about a website that actually they're trying to recover a lot of these old games, like Flash games and stuff like that, like Internet Archives of this kind of stuff, because the content and effort people put into these projects is notable enough that people should be able to play them. To go back onto my thought of like just all these old creators just not being there anymore, I feel like there was like an exploratory aspect of the internet back then. Like you would be on like a random, like let's say that file sharing website you're talking about, or that game creator website you're talking about. You find a game you like, and then it links to some other website, and you're like, oh, what's this? And then you find some other stuff. You might find some cool content or some games that you like. Like just going from website to website, like finding cool, interesting things. Like that exploration really isn't around anymore because everything's just like on Reddit or Twitter or Facebook. Like there's no individualized websites anymore.
Yeah, I had this conversation with someone relatively recently. Like I hate that the only website I go on is Reddit.
Yeah.
Like I guess I go on Twitter as well, but like it's just like everything's Reddit. It doesn't matter if your website is a different website than Reddit. It's on Reddit. I just go to Reddit. And I hate Reddit.
Yeah.
I'm on Reddit constantly, but I hate Reddit. Like for example, I banned a guy in our speedrun. Now he's following me, calling me a British term for cigarettes on every single post I make.
What the
I'm
fuck?
like, yeah, like, cause of course, like, even if he gets like banned on Reddit, like, there's no consequences. It's a shadow account, and like, I don't like Reddit has the worst community on the planet.
Absolutely.
I don't even want like all this stuff commented on. I want these things just like presented to me. And I go to them and I have fun on them. Like, that's the internet that I used to love. Like, did you ever go on pointlesssites.com?
I feel like I did. I'm not sure. Is that like something
Pointless Sites was like devoted
like
to websites that were just one-offs, and they were just like, they were pointless for lack of a better term. It's
Yeah. It was like send me to a random website or something like that.
That was Stumble Upon.
Yes, Stumble Upon. I've done that one.
Yeah, and I love those websites where it's just like one concept that's absolutely out there.
Well, people would actually make websites. Do people like make websites? Are there such thing as non-corporate websites anymore?
Yeah, I feel like things are definitely made for profit nowadays, and like this isn't like capitalism, the death toll of the world, but like people
really
don't do
is,
anything
though.
with. Sure, but people don't really do anything just to do anything anymore. I definitely think that's
like Zombo.com. You know, you ever been to that?
Zombo.com.
Welcome to Zombo.com. Like that kind of shit. Like people aren't making that kind of stuff anymore. Which, granted, it
costs $10 a month. Sphinctus.net though is out there.
Sphinctus.com.
Clicked on.
Don't
Sphinctus. Oh, it was Sphinctus.net. Now it's Sphinctus.com.
Don't go to that website.
It's out there, and it's willing to be clicked on.
I was actually hacked by Russian hackers for like 2 years.
That actually happened?
Yeah.
You got pwned, right?
Yeah, and like Russian hackers like owned the website for like a year or so, and I couldn't get into it, so I had to like message them, get all my information, and they like literally like in plain text, the people who owned my web hosting just sent me my password.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's a fun story, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't really care. Like, my personal information is already all over the internet. Like, that Have You Been Pwned website, I've been on that shit like 5 times, like with my emails and plain text passwords.
Yo, but speaking of getting leaked, I was so wrong about that conversation from last week. Like I'm gonna apologize, but also like I have a little bit more information.
What?
Like you were like, oh, so do you have anything to talk about that like SM64 SMW leak? And I'm like, oh, that's all been out there for a while. Like no, I was like so like yeah, so there was a massive leak.
It's like a huge
regarding
deal, right?
SM64 and like SMW and like yeah. Basically, we have all the source code for these games. Apparently, it was like relatively, it wasn't like new, but like at the same time, now people are finally exploring the source code and like getting all this cool shit. And like, yeah, there's like so many cool assets and like so many memes made out of these like scary ass like Yoshi beta sprites and stuff like that. W is real. There's Wario and SM64. Really, the entire world has been unlocked.
Well, that's like I saw it on Twitter like a couple hours before the last podcast, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is super cool." So I like went to talk about it, and you're like, "Oh no, it's fucking stupid. Kill yourself." Like,
Jesus,
that's not really what
I mean,
said.
at the same time, like I saw
it.
right before we started on the podcast that our hero Wilford Brimley died, and I just made it really sad. So
let's take a moment of silence. All right.
Yeah, I was playing chicken with you. I'm like, who's gonna talk first? Who's gonna disrespect Wilford Brimley first?
Listen, he would have wanted us to start talking.
Yeah, he would beat us.
He would beat us.
No, beat us. Jesus.
Diabetes.
Have you not seen the commercial where he's like beat us?
Nope, never heard of it.
Should we cut this because I'm making fun of Wilford Brimley and he died?
Yeah, dude, what the fuck? I think he embraced it though. Like he like responded on Twitter to somebody. I forgot what it was about. It had to do with diabetes, and he's like, "Yes, I understand. Someone famous said diabetes. Thank you for your time," or something like that.
Oh, Wilford.
It's like when Billy Mays died. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's really inconsequential. But like, it's like fuck. Like that's like the guy, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think he was much younger. Like I think Wilford Brimley was like in his 80s.
Oh yeah, he was old. I'm pretty sure Billy Mays did cocaine, but
well, Billy Mays like got like hit in the head and died. Like he I remember like the last thing he was like struck like there was like turbulence on a plane and like he hit the top of the ceiling and like fell back in his seat or something and then like he later died, but like
oh, no.
it was like a thing where like if he wasn't on drugs, he would have survived. He had a fragile brain. I don't know. I feel like I'm just at this point disrespecting the entire dead community.
My mom tells me I have a fragile brain.
Well, I don't think she's wrong.
Like, where do you even go from that?
On the topic of Wilford Brimley and the Beatus, I have been like doing this thing, but not actually doing this thing where I've bought like I'm not like trying to like have a competition or like try to like review every single ramen, but I've bought like 5 individual like cup ramen brands, like 12 packs.
Okay.
And like I have the Mi Goreng cup 12 pack. I have the Top Ramen 12 pack. I have the not Saruman. Like I have so many different cup ramens and I'm eating so many cup ramens. I might die.
I really like.
But at the same time, I should probably make like a review video, like a Pro ZD, like just food channel eating all these ramens.
I can't think of the name of the one I always get. It's the super spicy Korean one.
Yeah, it's got the chicken that's like doing. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my god! Like oh my god! I can't think of the name of it. It's like super spicy.
I'll show you. Like I know exactly what you're talking about. It begins with the S. It's the one I just posted in the chat.
Let me see. No, it's not. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. No, that's not it.
Really?
No. Like this is something that's commercially available at like every store.
Well, I always see that one at Super H Mart that like is known for being spicy.
It's like the most popular Nong Shim. Yeah, these.
Is it this guy?
Shin ramen. These.
Oh, Shin? Oh, I have Shin bowls at my apartment, and I eat
those are fucking so
I love Shin bowls.
Good. They're spicy, but they're like so good.
Yeah, they're spicy. They're not the most spicy, but like I honestly don't like products that really sacrifice enjoyability for spice.
Things that are like
you might expect me as like being picante on multiple platforms that like I actually like give a shit about spice, and I like spicy food, but like I like good food.
Yeah, like if you want to have flavor, like I think the Shin ramen it's very spicy, but you get flavor of like other shit. Like I've said a million.
And I also don't want to die later. Like you eat something that's too spicy, it's like the payoff is not as bad as the consequences. Yeah, it's like.
Didn't you eat a ghost pepper on stream?
I did, and like the thing is, I love spicy food. My stomach does not love spicy food. I'm willing to say.
How was the one chip challenge?
The one chip challenge, I actually don't like Pocky. I do like Pocky, the Japanese sticks, but PAQUI. I think that all their products taste bad, and they're really not worth it. Like they have a ghost pepper chip.
They just have good
and
marketing.
It just tastes like a normal chip, but like it has ghost pepper flakes on it, so it's like spicy. Like imagine eating like Tostitos corn chips, and they taste like corn chips, but they're like really spicy. Stupid, right?
Like, is it really as bad as everybody says it is? I've seen like streamers do it, and they're like debilitated for like days.
So one chip challenge is probably slightly easier than a ghost pepper, but like still a ghost pepper is a ghost pepper.
I'm like afraid. Like I'm not the healthiest person ever. I feel like I would actually have a heart attack if I ate it.
I don't think you'd have a heart attack, but like you'd probably still be on the toilet for like a very long time.
I'm more worried about like the endorphin and like anxiety and like everything else that comes out of it, not like that. Like I could deal with like the shitting and the pain and stuff like that. I'm more worried about like that makes me feel like I'm gonna die, like have a heart attack.
You ever think about just becoming a healthier person? You know how we have the virtual homework podcast? What if we just have the fitness homework podcast?
I was thinking about streaming like me riding my bike and stuff like that, and like people donate for me to like ride more.
you like have like an electric like moped, and like a donation like ups the mile per hour by 1.
Yeah,
it's like
well, it's like I posted in your podcast
for $100 I'll slam on the brakes like
like just go flying like into the concrete, and like I'm all like bloody. It's like
that would be the evolution of content. Like
for
you
the
control
sub.
a car with donations.
If I get a sub, I like run in the traffic.
That'd be way too much death and destruction. But
I'm pretty sure that's like against TOS. But like I think
I'm pretty sure that'd be like a Black Mirror episode.
But I did actually get a mount for my bike because I do want to actually stream my bike rides. I think it'd be really cool to do. I'm just trying to get like different overlays and stuff like some other streamers do. And the problem is it drains my battery in like a minute. So
yeah, you need one of those mega batteries that cost like $60, and like they're also heavy and they're also huge. It's like you have to like wear a backpack and like have that in the backpack. Like you see a lot of these IRL streamers have a streamer backpack that just like literally part of it is a massive battery.
To go on to the oh my god, I can't speak English. To go further onto this on the I need a better phone thing. Actually, there's this huge thing on TikTok that was showing people how to get a $99 iPhone X. And it was actually real. You go to this website and it shows like deals for shit, and like you could actually go to Walmart and say, "Hey, this deal exists," and they would sell you the phone for $99. And like thousands of people got them, and like Walmart had to like, if you go to Walmart right now, you actually can't buy an iPhone X because of this.
Well, I mean, I remember there was like a deal for like a $20 Switch on Target, and they just refunded everyone their money. So like, I feel like they're not obligated to do that, but I guess Walmart doesn't give a shit because they have billions of dollars.
So this was something that would like you'd actually go into the store with the deal.
Oh,
it wasn't online. Like it was only certain stores, and the stores would say how many of this deal they had left.
So I actually have this written down though. Speaking of TikTok, well, use TikTok while you can. Is it banned yet? It might.
I use it every day, so it's like I would be very upset if it was gone.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna use the T word. Trump said that he's gonna ban TikTok as early as Saturday, and it's literally Saturday. So.
I don't think it's. I don't know. Like I would.
Well, I actually have a fucking talking point on this, like, because we talked about the Wayfair conspiracy last week. We all have friends that have gone off the conspiracy theory deep end.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
And the thing about this particular person is they keep sending TikTok conspiracy videos, which I'm not sure if you've seen.
Yeah,
have you seen those?
There's some pretty bad ones.
No, there's some pretty bad ones, but for some reason, the snappy, like, oh, TikToks are like 15-second clips. They make believable content without having any sources, and like so many people believe them. Like I see these have like 50,000 likes. These have like hundreds of thousands of views. And they're spreading, like, the way that, like, all these social media sites pick up. Like, they don't really care about politics. It's like,
no, they don't
for some reason, these conspiracy videos, these alt-right videos, like,
it's all algorithms.
Get so many views and so much engagement that, like, it's just, like, such an immediately vicious cycle. As soon as you complete one, it's like you get, like, 8.
Well, it's I'll explain how TikTok works, actually. So when you start TikTok as a new user, you have what's called your For You page. It's completely blank. They're just going to start sending you random things. But then once you start liking and sharing and viewing certain videos on your For You page that are randomly generated, you'll start getting into similar videos. So like my For You page is a lot of memes and like cat videos and people complaining about customer service because I like a lot of those videos. Now, if let's say I saw like an alt-right video and I click like on that, maybe 6 or 7 videos later, I might get another one of that. And then maybe if I click that, then I'm going to start getting some, that's going to lead me to conspiracy stuff. And then if I link to conspiracy stuff, then it's going to get like anarchist stuff, like it's like one link and thread because they don't give a fuck. It's just the algorithm just.
They don't give a fuck because they're not even American. They don't.
No.
Like, they're literally. The guy who had a major in Chinese saying, fuck China. Yeah,
Ooh.
like, you should not trust the Chinese app, like, 100%. Like, I'm totally on board to ban TikTok. I know that the reason why it's going to get banned is because the reason why TikTok got banned, or it's going to get banned, is because there was a campaign to, like, fuck the president, not actually have sex with the president, but
sex with Trump,
shatter the president's ego, and like therefore Trump's like taking down the hammer. But you're against this,
yeah.
But let me just say one sentence,
okay,
and sway you my way.
Okay,
remove TikTok, bring back Vine.
Well, yeah, but like,
yes, would you like that?
Yeah, I like Vine and stuff like that. I just think TikTok has literally some of the funniest content on the internet right now. Funnier than every other platform. You'll even see it on other platforms. You'll see it on Reddit. You'll see it on Twitter, I guess, or Facebook. They're all TikTok memes. Like, it's fucking the funniest shit ever. And people complain like, oh, TikTok, they're stealing your information. What the fuck? So is Facebook. So is Google. Like, people are like, oh, they're tracking where you are. Do you have a cell phone? Yeah, they know exactly where you are. If the government wants any information from you, they already have everything. Like,
yeah, but the difference is that you're saying the government, like implying the U.S. government, like this.
Every government in the fucking world has your information at this point.
Yeah, but at the same time,
like you can't.
There's so many.
You can't complain about one thing and then like, well, I'm fine with everything else. Like, no.
But I'm not really fine with everything.
All it does is come down to is Trump has a fucking fragile ego, and they talk shit about him all the time on there. So he's like, "Oh, it's bad Chinese propaganda. Gotta get rid of it."
I don't think we should allow China to weaponize our data, but just take it from me, the person who lived in China, the person who studied China, and the person who knows a lot about China.
Weird flex, but okay.
Not even that weird of a flex, but
that's actually a pretty good one.
Speaking of China and Jet Bean. So I watched Killer Bean again because I hate myself.
Did you really?
I did.
So is that why you were sending me random ass fucking?
Yeah, that's why I was sending you like random ass like Killer Bean memes because I watched the entire movie. I watch it in passing, like you know how you watch something like in the background.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like I started going through the comments on the Killer Bean movie. And I started watching like meme videos on the Killer Bean movie, and I got actually scared.
Why?
Because you know how like something is like it's ironic and then it becomes unironic.
Do you actually enjoy the movie?
No, I don't. But like I'm looking at these comments and I see stuff like, "This is better than most Hollywood action movies."
You don't know
and
if
like
it's
that's
being
like
ironic
a genuine comment.
Like you can't tell like the difference between like people just memeing or like they have it in their head that like this is actually like good content.
Yeah, and like that is 300 likes. You also like you have a comment like 122 likes. This free movie is better than a lot of pay to see movies. I guess that's like there are some pretty bad pay to see movies. Like these people are like actually like now they're like, oh, this passes as like an actual feature film.
This
like,
happens
oh,
with
God.
every so bad it's good movie though. You can look at the room and see like the same kind of comments that people think, oh, this is like if you actually think about it, this movie is blah blah blah, and it's like no, it's shit, and that's why it's entertaining because it's so bad,
403 likes when a free movie is better than paid movies.
Well, yeah, like I could like take a video of me taking a shit and record that and charge $8 for it, and like it would still be really bad. Like anyone can put anything out and it'd be bad and cost money. Like maybe if they make a more nuanced argument, like oh this like it's better than the Avengers or something like that, sure. But
so genuine comment, 90 likes. This is actually better than most action movies. LOL.
I mean, I would imagine like 85% of action movies are bad because that encompasses every action movie ever.
I'm just scared. I'm just scared that there's people who like see this at face value. I'm just scared that people see this at face value and they think it's like legitimately like something that should be in theaters, even though nothing's in theaters right now. When's the last time we had a Corona update? Corona update, Dana.
Some kids they opened up a school in Indiana and they had to close it within like an hour because a kid had coronavirus.
How's the mall?
It's the same. It's getting better. We don't have AC, so it's really hot.
How's the tall? Being 7'6".
I hit the ceiling. every day.
Fuck. So I was like thinking about like fucking Spider-Man 1 recently,
Yeah. What about it? You're just like
and
thinking about it.
the Green Goblin.
Yeah. How he has like a bowl haircut.
Yeah, imagine if like instead of the Green Goblin they had the Cum Goblin.
I guarantee you, there's a porno of that.
The Cum Goblin is like I'm
Google
the Cum Goblin.
Google it right now. You won't.
I'm not gonna Google Cum Goblin.
I
Are
will.
you serious? Have fun Googling Cum Goblin.
The Cum Goblin. Oh God. Okay.
I'm scared. Even though I'm not looking at this, I'm scared.
We're not. So next topic.
So I've been eating a grapefruit every day, and I've had no discernible results. I've been doing this for like 28 days.
Do you even like grapefruit? Isn't it like
I do. I like grapefruit. I've been posting a grapefruit pic in my Discord every single day for like the past 4 weeks.
Like I would rather have like a clementine.
Do you still have Cum Goblin on your screen?
Yes. You just see like my eyes darting from like left to right as I'm scanning all the photos.
Are you like watching the Cum Goblin video as we try to talk about literally anything else?
Okay, we're closing that out now. Thank you for not that.
I told you not to search Cum Goblin, and look what you did.
Maybe that's you should pitch it to Sam Raimi or whoever did that movie, and maybe it'll be the next big thing.
Do they let him make more movies after Spider-Man 3?
I don't think so. Let's see this what's so like fucked up about being in front of anything. I can literally like Google Cum Goblin at like any moment's notice.
At 200 miles, you could be on a bullet train 300 miles an hour
Sam
Googling Cum Goblin.
Raimi movie. What's the last
Like
movie
that's
he made?
threatening. Like you tell a guy from the 1700s someone's gonna come at you 300 miles an hour Googling Cum Goblin, they're gonna be like, "What's
he made
Google?"
The Grudge.
I actually just watched Knives Out and it was good. That's my review.
The fuck is Knives Out?
It's a mystery movie. It's like Clue but new.
He hasn't made a movie since 2013.
He made Spider-Man. What else is there to do?
He's making Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in 2022.
Sounds like I don't give a shit.
He made some short films. The Sappy
Sounds like I
Sap.
don't give a shit. Imagine like watching
He's
a short film.
Old.
I talked about watching a short film last week, but that was on Steam. Imagine watching a video on Steam.
That sounds like the worst like platform imaginable to watch a video on.
Yeah, it was weird because like it counted as like a game. Like people saw me watching the Papers, Please short film.
Did you get an achievement?
I don't think I got an achievement, but like it counted as like a game. It was weird.
So it's +1 to your count.
Yeah, exactly. That's the most important thing, man.
It is.
To shoehorn this in, I have a rant.
Uh-oh.
You know how I'm like usually Dana gave us one of those patents and Dana rants.
So we're gonna give
one time I
Sam
did that.
his time to shine. I introduced you our new segment. It's called Sam Rants.
Sam rants about the U.S. Postal Service.
Uh-oh.
That's the theme song. Anyway, so basically, the Postal Service kind of sucks right now, and there's political reasons for that, but we're not going to get into that. But anyway, The Postal Service sucks right now. Have you actually had to deal with the Postal Service in the past couple weeks?
Yeah. Every time I get a package, it's like damaged, or it takes forever to get here, or there's just the customer service sucks. Which
They should have got Sam Porter on the case, huh? Sam Porter would have been doing well. He would have been.
Sam Porter's not a real person.
My name's Sam. There's definitely a person named Sam Porter. There's probably a person in the world named Sam Porter who probably has a very bad time Googling themselves right now because they're literally not able to Google. Like, it's just Death Stranding. But anyway, I've had like 6 different issues in the past like month or two, and they're all getting worse. So I moved roughly a month ago, almost exactly a month like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And the issue was I bought a gift for my girlfriend that said it was not going to get here till June 14th. I bought it in May.
Oh God.
And it was a month delayed, so it didn't even ship till July 14th. And it shipped through UPS to my previous address.
Oh no.
This isn't even USPS. So, but then it was not mail forwarded, so like I had to like call UPS, which has like its own customer service line that took an hour, and like they're like, there's nothing we could do. But then I also ordered this shirt to a friend of mine from the UK that went through USPS, and it originally like they forgot to give me an apartment number, so it got returned to sender. But I called them, and I waited 2 hours on hold, and they're like, "Oh, we'll actually get it mailed," and they didn't do that. So I called 2 days ago, and I have the USPS mail Hold song burned in my head. It's like "Ba-na-na-na-na, ba-na-na, da-na-na-na, da, da-na-na-na,
I think it's just generic Hold music.
da-na-na-na, da-na-na." And the reason I know that is because I was on hold for like 2.5 hours before I waited for this person to tell me there was nothing they can do. We'll make a case, and if you want to get an update on the case, we're not going to email you. You have to call back. So I'm going to have to call back to not get my package delivered. There was nothing in this thing. And they made a case last time 2 weeks ago and nothing happened. So
it's because they're so underfunded right now. They can't do anything. There's just not enough people to handle it.
Yeah, so I'm going to, if I want any updates on this thing I bought that I spent like $70 on because it was like a custom-ass, like stupid-ass shirt. You've seen my custom-ass, stupid-ass shirts. I have to call them for 2.5 hours for them to tell me to do nothing. And I'm so frustrated with the current system. And I understand they're like it's not the system's fault. It's like outside forces, but like I'm going. You know, you ever watch like Futurama and you see when they go to like the Bureau of Bureaucracy or whatever?
Yeah. And just like layers and layers of bullshit.
I feel like that.
I mean, I have a similar story. I guess it's not necessarily the shipper's fault, but I bought a t-shirt and a pair of shorts from a Canadian company. This company that I think is really cool. I supported them. So I ordered them. And then, so what they did is that they misreported what items were being sent over the border to not have to deal with tariff fees and stuff like that and taxes. So what happened was it got stuck at the border, and then it came to me, and they were like, well, you're going to have to pay $70 for this $60 package. And I'm like,
Jesus.
No. I'm like, all right, we're going to hold it for 3 days and send it back. I'm like, okay. So then I contact the manufacturer, and they just don't respond to anything I say. So
that happened with my current manufacturer issue that I'm having that I waited for 2.5 hours on. They're a UK distributor that went to the US. It took them like literally 72 hours to even like respond to my message.
So it gets sent back to them, and they respond to me like, all right, well, do you want to send it back? You're going to have to pay another $30 for shipping. I'm like, this isn't my fault, though. You didn't respond to me, so I couldn't do anything. Like, I'm not going to pay $70 or something because you misreported it. Ended up saying like, all right, well, then we'll return it, but then there's a 40% restocking fee. I'm like, so I'm not getting my product. I have to pay more to get my product, and I'm losing money to return it. Like,
in that situation, you definitely charge back to your bank.
I used a debit card.
No, you could still do that.
No, I went to my bank and they're like, if you used a credit card, it'd be fine, but because it's a debit card. So the thing with when you're using online purchases, always use a credit card because they can charge that back because the funds are technically being held. My understanding is. But if you use a debit card, then the money is already gone. So if the company doesn't want to give it back, and of course, if it's like a foreign company, like it gets fucky. So that was like 2 years ago, and I'm still out of like the fucking like $70.
That's generally true, but at the same time, I'm willing to pose as Dana. I'm willing to call up your bank and
I call them
the money to Sam's account.
I still call them.
We'll do a conference call. I'll pretend to be your dad. I'll be like, I am Dana's father, and I started this account.
You sound younger than me. Yeah, but I'm Dana's dad.
I'll use like a voice. You
just refer to yourself as Dana's dad and nothing different.
I am Dana's father.
Like, what's your?
And as Dana's father, I have authority on this situation. Want to know what I don't have authority on?
What?
The trending page on iTunes podcast. I'm pissed.
Why?
Because we should have been trending every single week for the past 15 weeks.
Listen, if you're not going to Apple iTunes right now / Virtual Homework Podcast and giving us
that's totally not the link.
5 stars.
Just search it on iTunes.
5 stars. I'm gonna cry.
I'm actually kind of pissed though, because like everyone's making a podcast. We picked the terrible time to make one. How are we going to compete with Michelle Obama's podcast? Her first guest was Barack Obama.
Like how do you compete with
what?
that?
Like, yeah, all the people who want to listen to Virtual Homework, they're going to listen to Barack Obama and Michelle Obama.
Did you see what I found the other day on Facebook? It was like the God podcast hosted by God.
Yeah, God has a podcast?
Like, how do
that seems like a waste of time, but it's probably better than our podcast, and that sucks.
No, you're
because we have a good podcast. It's like if they released Lost when Breaking Bad came out, Lost would be fucked, right? Yeah. Like Lost is a good show, but like it
would get lost in the sea of other
things. It would get
things.
lost in the sauce.
Crisscross,
as Gucci Mane would say.
You get lost in the sauce. I wish I knew the entire quote, because I know of the quote, but it'd be really cool if I could like recite it by every word on command. It'd be really make for some really funny moments. But
If a man does not have sauce, then he is lost. But the same man can get lost in the sauce. That is a quote by Gucci Mane. It's beautiful, honestly. You remember when Gucci Mane was asked if he was guilty in court and he said, "Bitch, I might be"?
Did he really?
No, that's a joke. Like, no one asks, "Are you guilty in court?" Like, what?
Bitch, I might be. I've actually listened to a lot of Gucci Mane on the way home from work lately. Like,
I mean, he just really speaks to my soul.
yeah. I mean, all I really need is trance music and Gucci Mane, and I'd be fine.
And a little bit of 69, right?
Yeah, I'm fine with some Party Boy 69, and sometimes
I got the Party Boy 69 shirt, but then it like immediately got destroyed in the wash, but it was totally not the wash's fault. Like the shirt was just badly made, but I also love Party Boy 69, and it's a limited edition shirt, so like what am I going to do? Am I going to really complain that I have the limited edition shirt? And like
How to get ruined?
I don't think it was like an issue with the shirt. I've actually had shirts like this happen before where like you wash it once and the stuff like falls off. Like,
Can
it
I
just
ask
had
you a
bad,
question?
It had like bad printing or something.
Can I ask you a question about your laundry ability? This is really important, all right?
Yeah.
Do you wash your clothes? What temperature do you wash your clothes on?
Hi.
That's why. Clothes.
No, but
you're like
literally no other clothes have done this before.
So you're if you want clothes to last, wash it on cold, because cottons and shit made these days are so shittily made across the board that it ruins them by washing them on high and then drying them on high. You should be washing cold and then drying on low, and I promise you every piece of clothing will like last forever.
So there's two things to just fuck up this argument. One, every other clothes that I have
Confirmation bias.
Like literally, this has only happened once, and it was a product that got returned for like default, faulty manufacturing.
Now,
that was multiple years ago.
Can I make the point to say that
the second thing is that this shirt costs like 30 euros, which was like $40. It better be enough quality that this doesn't happen. But at the same time, I still love Party Boy.
Can I make the point to say that you more often than not buy very high quality clothes that are a little bit more expensive, and I may be buying very shitty clothes a lot of the time, so that's why I have to wash them on such a way to not ruin them?
I'm gonna buy you a $600 Fear of God sweatshirt.
Okay.
I'm totally not gonna do that.
I'm like, hell yeah.
Don't hold me to it.
Swag me out, Girl Scout.
Dana, swag. Dana, swag.
Yeah.
Ice on my wrist. Dana, swag.
I will never say that again. I'm sorry. I'll never say.
Do you have ice on your wrist?
I used to wear a wristband every fucking day of my life.
Like a Live Strong wristband?
No, like a black like sweatband, because it was like the cool thing to do in 2006.
What made you stop?
I stopped wearing the same thing every day for 5 years.
So, like, did you take off that wristband and it, like, smelled like death?
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Good.
Good.
I hope that you learned your lesson.
No, I still smell like shit.
Oh, no. Hey guys, so if you liked the episode, make sure to follow Virtual Homework Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and rate it 5 stars if you can.
Or if you hate it, do 5 stars anyway, or I will find you.
If you rate it less than 5 stars, Dan will be bound and gagged on a train track.
Wait, what?